Hey guys, welcome back to Bride Society. Today we have a Cricut tutorial for you suitable for beginners, showing you how to create these personalized flip flops. So we are putting honeymooning on ours. Obviously you can adapt our tutorial to say whatever you like. So we're showing you how to use iron-on transfer using your Cricut EasyPress Mini to create these, including a sort of layered vinyl effect as well. So here's what you'll need. So the first thing I'm going to do is walk you through how to make the design inside Cricut Design Space. As you can see here, I've pre-created my design and this is what I'm going to show you how to make now. Obviously you can adapt the same techniques to say whatever word or create whatever design it is that you would like. So make sure that you have your blank canvas ready to go and you're going to come over here to the left-hand pane and hit text. You're going to type in your word of choice because obviously we're doing flip-flops and there's two shoes presumably. You're going to want either two words or one word split over two like I have here. So I'm going to type honey, then I'm going to do another text box for moonin. So right now it really doesn't matter where you have the two words in relation to each other because obviously we're going to cut them out separately. To change the font that you're using, you're going to want to come up to the top left pane over here where it says font. I'm using Cricut Sans. You want to make sure that your operation is set to basic cut. And then you're going to want to come over here to select the colour of the vinyl that you're ultimately going to cut your design in. This will help sort out the different elements onto the respective mats when it comes to the cutting stage, so it all sits where it needs to. So obviously go ahead and select whatever colour you need. I'm cutting mine out of white vinyl predominantly, so I'm going to go ahead and select white. And then go ahead and do the same for your other word. To resize your text to fit your project, you can simply click on this arrow button and drag and replace like that. Come up to the top and change the numbers up here, or simply unlock this padlock if you need to change the ratios in relation to each other when you're resizing. So if you just drag like this, it maintains the ratio in width and height to each other. The next thing we're going to do is deal with these two O's. So we're going to overlap them so that you get this like ring effect and add this diamond shape at the top. So to do that, we need to ungroup our letters so we can move them as individuals. Right now they're as a group. As you can see, I can move it around as a block. I need to separate them. So you come up to advanced at the top, hit ungroup letters. That has now created individual letters, so I can move them as individual items. Because I want these two items to overlap, I want to group these last 5 items. So do that to click and drag your mouse over those, which will then release and group them together. So the highlighted, you just come up to the top right hand pane, hit group at the top here, and now you'll be able to move that as one block. So you just don't have to mess around with the spacing as moving each letter over one by one. Position as you wish. And now we're going to deal with the diamond shape. So to do that, you're going to come over to Shapes. If you subscribe to Cricut Design Space, with the Cricut Access, you will see a diamond shape down here, which you can just go ahead and insert. If you do not have Cricut Access like me, you can download an image, upload it into Cricut Design Space, and it will drop into your canvas somewhere up here in the top left-hand corner. So you can just now click that to move it around, drag it down to where you want it. So position it somewhere over either of those O's. Again, you can use this button to resize and use the padlock if you need to change the ratios of the dimensions. So I'm just going to get that where I want it. And we've now got up to where I got to with the other design. So I'm just going to delete out this example and continue on with the one we was working on before. Okay, so as I said earlier, Cricut will sort your vinyl onto your mats based on colour. So as you can see, I want my diamond shape to be in this, well, I've put it in this grey colour. It's going to be in a sort of glittery silver colour, and as is the rest of the ring. So I'm now going to change that white to also be in the grey, but ultimately the glitter silver. Okay, the rest are going to stay in the white. The next thing is making this ring one shape. So you don't want to cut it so that that diamond part is cut separately from the ring part, like the 0. So to do that, select the diamond shape and then press and hold the Command key if you're on a Mac, or Control if you're on a Windows machine, and then select the O as well. That highlights both parts of the object. You're then going to come up to the top right hand corner where it says Group. So they're now one object, and then come down to the bottom right hand corner where it says Weld. This will get rid of the extra cut lines and make it one shape. You see just there, they've disappeared. So it's now one shape. I'm now going to just move that out of the way because we are going to cut it separately. Now we also need Moonin to cut out as one word, maintaining the spacing between the O and the N, so we have space to drop the ring back in at the end. So you're going to click and drag over all of the letters. It highlights them. You're then going to come back here and hit Group again. Once that's done, you're ready to hit Make It in the top right hand corner of your screen. That will sort your projects onto your mats by colour. As you can see, the first one is the ring. I like to move things down away from the top left corner a little bit, just because sometimes it doesn't quite cut where it says it is going to. You can move things freely around on these mats. It's not like a print preview as such where it's fixed. You can just drag them and space them as your vinyl cutoffs allow, and etc. Make sure you switch on mirror for both mats with using this little slidey function, because you are using iron-on vinyl, which will flip your design. So just make sure you've done that and you're happy with where everything is on your mats. As you can see, we're going to start with the glitter silver or grey or whatever you're cutting your ring out of. So then come on down here to the bottom right hand corner and just hit continue. Make sure that your machine is connected and switched on, and then we're going to select our base material. So if this is not your first project, you may well already have some materials saved in your favourites in this section. So if the material you're looking for is in that list, go ahead and select it now. If it's not there, you're going to come up here to where it says Browse All Materials. Because we're using iron-on, you can filter up top here where it says All Categories and come down to iron-on. You then got a list of all the iron-on materials that Cricut offers. Today we are using the glitter iron-on, but obviously if you're using something different, select as appropriate. Select that and hit Done. If, like me, you're cutting your second mat out of a different type of vinyl, when you come to cut that second mat, you can then change your base material here by simply clicking where it says glitter iron-on, in my case, whatever the other material is for you, and then select again as appropriate and it will reset it. So just make sure you do that step in between. This will now remind you to make sure you have the mirror function switched on, which hopefully you do if you've been following my steps. And now you need to load your fine point blade and add your material to your mat. So we're going to load our blade into clamp B, so you just open it up, grab your blade. So it's the fine point one, so it's the one with the almost barely there point. Okay, and then we just pop it in the top here, close the clamp like so. And it just locks it into place. Then grab the vinyls you're going to use. As I say, I'm going to use this silver glitter and the white everyday iron-on, and simply cut to the size you need. Next, attach them to your standard grip mat with the shiny side face down. So that's the sort of more glossy, glittery side in this case. So flip it over and place it in the top left-hand corner of your mat, securing it down firmly. You're going to do the same when you come to do the next piece of vinyl also. Load your first mat into place by positioning it under these little guides on the left and right hand side of the machine. Then hit the flashing arrow button to drag the mat in. You will then see the flashing C Cricut logo once your cut is ready to start, so you can go ahead and press that. You'll repeat these same steps for the next vinyl. Grab your weeding tool and remove all the vinyl you do not want to transfer onto your final project. Do this for both vinyls that you've cut. So to apply my everyday iron-on onto my flip-flop, I'm going to use my Cricut EasyPress Mini because it will fit better into the space I'm working with rather than trying to use the big squares to do that. So I'm going to preheat it just to the first setting, and then when you've done that, you're going to just preheat the flip-flop slightly for a few seconds. Once you've done that, you'll be able to stick down your lettering and it will become tacky. So you'll be able just to put it in place and it should hold its spot. So if you have some heat resistant paper, this can be really helpful for just protecting your material underneath. So obviously, because of the design, it's going to take a bit of maneuvering, but we're going to try and place that over the top and then simply use your Cricut EasyPress Mini to lift and maneuver over the design on both flip-flops until you can see that it's taken. Once you've waited a few minutes for your transfer to cool down, you can go ahead and peel the backing off. If for any reason it hasn't fully transferred, you can simply replace the backing back down, recover, and add a little more time on. So as you can see, we're still missing the second O or the engagement ring on this design. So this flip-flop's done. We can move that to one side. So this one, we're now going to layer our vinyl. So we're going to bring in the engagement ring that we've cut out and just check where you're going to put it. Once you are happy with the spacing and that you've obviously cut the plastic around enough that you can actually fit it in between the plastic straps, if that's how yours is working out. I'm just going to pop this down and I'm going to grab my heat resistant sheet again. I'm going to definitely use this time to protect the vinyl that's already been stuck down so I don't melt it. And then just repeat what we did earlier by lifting and replacing the Cricut EasyPress Mini over your design until it's fully transferred. And there you have it. I hope you found that helpful and enjoyed it. If you did, if you could give the video a like and hit subscribe, and you can also check out the dedicated Cricut playlist for more content like this.